know what's amazing? You know what's absolutely amazing? I know a bunch of you are waking up right now and you had no idea any of that happened. This is Cup Check with Steve Dangle, where we talk about every game of the Stanley Cup Final in 2026. And this series is unhinged. The Vegas Golden Knights win 5-4 in double overtime to take a 2-1 series lead in what is, I think, the wildest, most ridiculous, most eventful, and most record-breaking Stanley Cup Final game I've ever seen. Name a better one. Name a more insane one. Name one where more records were broken, more things happened in that small of an amount of time that went to double overtime, that had both teams break records. Some of them, one of them was almost 70 years in the making. Another was over 100. So here's what happens. First period is like the first period of each of the first two games. Carolina has more of the puck. Vegas does rope-a-dope. Vegas isn't able to get much done offensively. Shots are 7-2 Carolina. The difference between this first period and the ones that we saw in game one and in game two is no one was able to score, and it was even the whole time. Tied! It's tied. What happens in the second period, though? Vegas has put Carolina through the boards. They did it in game one, they did it in game two, and they did it the hardest I've ever seen anyone do it in game three. First minute, Vegas scores. Guess what? Offside. And they called it offside because it was offside. All right, still scoreless. Woo, Carolina dodges a bullet there. What happens next? Vegas scores again. Oh, they challenge it. Oh, it's goalie interference. And the reason they called it that is because it is. Ivan Barbashev almost took Freddie Anderson's head off. They called it back. Still 0-0 somehow. There are 9 goals, haven't even gotten to him yet. It's 1:26 a.m. That's cool. Finally, halfway through the second, Vegas is greatly out shooting Carolina in the second period, like they've continued to do. They get a power play. Jack Eichel out of the corner finds Thomas Hertl, and it's a thing of beauty. Hertl does not miss, and this one counts. Tomas Hertl, who was in the penalty box in overtime in game two when Carolina won the thing, gets the opening goal of game three. Sports are kind of great. 16 seconds later, Mitch Marner throws it on net. Sean Walker puts it in his own net. Oh my goodness, just like that, 2 goals in 16 seconds. Vegas is up 2-0. Oh, just wait. Marner gets the puck from Braden McNabb, who, by the way, was wearing a cage on his face in game 3 because in game 2, he got his nose nearly ripped off. The stitches go in a C on his nose, which I'm positive is not supposed to happen. Anyway, it's a bloody, nasty goal. Mitch has another one. It's 3-0, and he's got a pair. Barely over 2 minutes later, Mitch Marner coming in on the right wing, winds up for a clapper on the rush. Bang! Marner. Oh! Sean Walker just scored on his own net. That's going to be a Mitch Marner goal. Now it's McNabb. It's Marner again with another move, and he tucks it in. Mitch Marner! His second of the game! And this is going to be a breakaway for Mitch Marner. Does he get the Hattie with a slapper? Emphasis! Bang! Marner! Natural Hattie! In game 3 of the Stanley Cup Finals. 4-0 Vegas against his former teammate, no less. Second career playoff hat trick. Second of this run. Running away with the all-time Vegas points in a playoff record with 28. And there are a lot of $40 hats hitting the ice tonight. It is not just a hat trick. It is a natural hat trick for Mitch Marner in the Stanley Cup Final, and it is a record breaker. It is a record breaker twofold. Chris Johnson tweets this from NHL Stats. Mitch Marner, 6 minutes and 10 seconds, scored the fastest hat trick in Stanley Cup Final history, beating the previous mark of 6 minutes and 21 seconds set 69 years ago by Maurice Rocket Richard. It gets better from Chris Meany. Mitch Marner is the second player to ever have a 4-point period in the Stanley Cup Final. He joins Frank Corbett Flash Foyston, who did it in 1919 with the Seattle Metropolitans. Now, I went to Frank Foyston's Hockey DB page, and let me tell you something. There could be more records here. On account of, in 1919, Frank Foyston's Seattle Metropolitans played in the PCHA, which is not the NHL, so Marner becomes the first player to ever do this in the NHL. Also, Frank Foyston was born in 1891, which is 135 years ago. Do you want to know the events of 1891? I bet you do. Here, I got them. On May 15th, Pope Leo the 13th did something. I'm not reading all that, but the guy's Pope Leo now. Enough time passed that there's another one. You know how rare it is to be the Pope? They had Pope Leo the 13th, bunch of other guys. No one did this. And now they got another one. And on May 20th, Thomas Edison was alive, prototype kinetoscope is first displayed at Edison's laboratory for a convention of the National Federation of Women's Clubs. And for those of you who have no idea what that is, I don't either. A kinetoscope is an early motion picture exhibition device designed for films to be viewed by one person at a time through a peephole viewer window. Dom Decision goes, Mitch Marner has as many points in this period as he had in 5 separate playoff runs with the Leafs. Ha, 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 ha. I don't think he's doing great. Oh, there's more. Mitch Marner also has as many goals in this period as he had in every single playoff run with the Leafs. No! Hey! You shut up! He was good the whole time! It was good the whole time. Emphasized by reporter Chris, Mitch Marner, playoff goals before this year, 13 in 70 games. Mitch Marner, this playoffs, 9 goals in 19 games. Followed up by a response that says, it's almost like if you put a team around a guy, he does better. Listen, I'm going to do this properly after he wins the Stanley Cup in the Conn Smythe. Why didn't he have a better team around him? What were the restrictions around the team? Were they just stupid? Were they just completely stupid? It might be that they were just completely stupid. Well, what were some of the stupid things they done? What were some of the stupid things? Let's talk about it. Is it that they had 4 guys making all the money? Is it that they had literally 4 guys making literally all the money? When the cap was flat, and the cap was flat, and the cap was flat, and then it was barely going up, Is that the sort of thing you should move on from? Do you think the brain thoughts of most Leaf fans was, I hate this, you're not getting it done, and also keep everything exactly the same? No! Anyway, that's besides the point. It's 4-0 Vegas, and I said what a lot of you said. Back it up. Back it up. That's it. Oh, see, Carolina's even given up. Freddie Anderson, who's in like Conn Smythe talks, pulled. Brandon Bussy's in that, and oh my God, look at that. Bussy is now facing a penalty shot, shorthanded. Oh my gosh, it's Marner. He's actually going to get a 4-goal game in the Stanley Cup Final. This is insane. But Bussy, the righty, stops it in his weird little righty glove. Oh, okay. Well, he still has 4 points and a hat trick, and it's 4-0, and it's the 3rd period. Can we all go to bed? And this is where I'm willing to bet a bunch of you watching this right now did go to bed. About 13 minutes to go in the game, Jordan Martinook, classic, go to the net, crash, he shovels it in. It's 4-1. Okay, well, you erased the shutout. You probably feel better about yourselves. 26 seconds later, what took you so long, the beauty of this goal is going to get lost in the chaos of this game. This goal is frigging disgusting. Sebastian Aho with better sauce than your Nona over to Taylor Hall, and he buries it. Oh my goodness, 2 goals in 26 seconds. The Hurricanes are down 2, and there's more time left on the clock than there was when they came back from down 2 in game 2. 13 seconds after that, Jacob Slavin puts it on. Jordan Staal with the tip. Oh my goodness! Oh, Martinook scores. Carolina on the board. They score on shot 14, nearly halfway through the 3rd. Oh, they just scored again. Taylor Hall off a one-timer. The first one's cute. The second one makes you sit up in your chair. Hurricanes win the ozone draw back. Shot. Oh my God! Oh my God! It's 4-3! Are you joking? With 12:18 to go in the 3rd, Jordan Staal with the tip. Carolina's down 1. I don't believe it. 3 goals in 39 seconds, and this is a 1-goal game with an insane amount of time left on the clock. And with 2 minutes to go in the game, the Hurricanes get a power play. Can I tell you how impossible it was to get a power play in this game? First of all, this game had 5 periods and penalties were only called in 2 of them. The first period had none. The second period, it was just Carolina for too many men on the ice. In the third period, Cole Smith took Vegas's first penalty, holding the stick. That was the only penalty call of the game that wasn't a bench minor or a puck over the glass. What about the slash on Marner for the penalty shot? It's a penalty shot, it doesn't count. Jarvis put the puck over the glass very shortly after Carolina brought themselves to within 1. That killed the momentum a little. And then almost exactly 5 minutes later, there's like 3 minutes to go, Shea Theodore puts the puck over the glass in the neutral zone, basically with his back against the end boards in his zone. I've seen defensemen do that before, but not many, and he did it in a 1-goal game with 3 minutes to go in the Stanley Cup Final. On the power play, with Shea Theodore in the box, with Bussy out of the net, it's 6-on-4 for Carolina. Everyone's banging. Everyone's crashing. There are people getting thrown into the net, but it's Andrei Svechnikov who scores to tie it. The Hurricanes come back from down 4. Oh my goodness, they're going to review it. Are they going to review this for goalie interference? Oh my goodness. It's John Tortorella with another decision to review. Oh my goodness, is he going to do it? Is he going to do it? Now, I don't know if Tort's decision to not challenge this was based on what happened in game 2. I don't know. I think this is probably the right call no matter what. This is a goal. This is the goal. But the clock winds down and we're going to overtime. No goals in the first overtime, and both teams had crazy chances. I want to throw this out there. Brandon Bussy came into this game in the beginning of the third period. He faced more shots than Frederik Andersen did. Andersen faced 16, Bussy faced 19. We go to double overtime. And by the way, murder's legal. I don't know if you noticed. Everyone was doing everything. And the chat the whole time on the stream was like, you know what? It's going to be a dumb one. And chat, you nailed it. What happened at the beginning of this game? Tomas Hertl, who was in the box at the end of game 2, opens the scoring for Vegas. Shea Theodore, who was in the box for the game-tying goal for Carolina, fires a shot from distance. It goes off the end boards, plunks right in front into the blue paint, and Bussy kicks it into his own net. The hockey gods like to have their fun. The Vegas Golden Knights had 2 goals disallowed in this game, and the Hurricanes scored on themselves twice to give them both back. Vegas avoids what would have been one of the most embarrassing, maybe the most embarrassing loss in NHL, in Stanley Cup Final history. They had a 4-0 lead. It's never happened before. And people were like, Hurricanes though, they planted the seed of doubt. It didn't look like it on the bench, did it? All it is in the playoffs, all it is in the Stanley Cup Final, it's winning and losing. And Vegas, in spite of everything, won. Questions. If you're Rod the Bod, with game 4 being a must win, surely you turn to the bus, right? Wow. Look, if you look at Freddie Andersen's numbers over the whole playoffs, they're cartoony. They're ridiculous. In any universe, he would be a Conn Smythe contender, but we watched the games. Through 3 games, Frederik Andersen has faced 65 shots from the Vegas Golden Knights. 12 of them have gone in. That's an .815 save percentage. Brandon Bussy stopped 18 of 19, and the 19th was the jankiest, weirdest bounce off the butt, leg, foot, whatever goal ever. Look, dude, here's what it is. If Vegas has like a clear lane, if Vegas has like a breakaway, if Freddie's in net, it's going in. It is a dangerous percentage of the time going in. Vegas was having a beast of a time figuring out Brandon Bussy. Bussy made 2 incredible kick saves in like 30 seconds in overtime. Yeah, he faltered a bit for you during the season. You also basically didn't lose with him in the lineup, which you could also apply to Freddie in these playoffs. I personally would go to Brandon Bussy for game 4, but man, he was crazy in relief. Crazy. Wade Minter says, Steve, I'm too old for this. No, you're not. And last but not least, Marner, what a champ. Not yet he's not, but he's well on the way, and he's making history while he does it. It's kind of great. Listen, the last thing I'll say about the Marner stuff. Mitch Marner and what he's done this year is an incredible story. It's such a great story. And it's not a story that you need to zhuzh up by making stuff up, by bending the truth, and also by using the truth to lie. It's a good enough story on its own as what it is. So, somehow we get 2 days off to recover. Game 4 is Tuesday. That is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell your friends. It is 1:52 a.m. Hey, it's not even 2. Let's go.